We all ready? Keep pouring it on!
Die! Die!
Hell yeah! Shoot that big mother!
This game was recommended by a commenter. If you want to leave recommendations yourself, leave them in the comments below, and of course enjoy the video and maybe subscribe too. This is Colony Survival, a Roblox game where you're tasked with surviving and managing a colony of people that all have room temperature IQ. You'll have to build structures and research new technologies to survive the endless waves of the undead. This game is kinda similar to RimWorld, another colony survival game, except here you have a physical body. Now let's get on to the gameplay. Upon joining the game, you are placed in a lobby area. Your character is forced to wear these military clothes. At the lobby, you can jump into a helicopter to start the game. You can play up to 4 players, but I'm just playing solo. Once you get into the game, you can select between 3 different save files. After that, you can choose between 4 different difficulties in what map you want to play on. Once you're done, you are dropped into a huge open world where you'll have to find a suitable place for your colony. The comment had a couple of tips, and they said to place your base on a hill. So after finding a pretty big hill in the middle of the desert, I placed down the tent, which would be the start of my colony. I recruited some homeless guy that was just standing here and built an area that would function as a mining operation. The tools that you have at your disposal include a hammer to build stuff, a deletion tool, blueprints for setting up structures, a pickaxe to mine for resources, and a machete for killing basic zombies. At the top left of your screen, you can see how much money you have and how many people are in your colony. I'll talk about the skulls later on. Money is the most important resource, so how do you get it? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. Using the pickaxe, you can mine stone, which gives you a couple of bucks per block. There's a board at the base where you can assign your civilians to different jobs. Since I built the mine shaft, I could set my colonists to miners so they can make money for me. At the top of your screen, there is a timer which warns you when the next wave of zombies is approaching. There's a big red area, which is where all the zombies spawn at. The zombies attempt to attack your base and destroy it. If your base gets destroyed, you lose. Each night that you survive, you can choose a reward between 150 bucks or another survivor. Each survivor you recruit gives you 50 bucks, so I recommend just getting the survivor. You also get a suspicious skull every night as well. To get more survivors, you have to wait for them to randomly appear and walk towards your base. You can occasionally find survivors out in the wild, but it happens very rarely. To increase the maximum number of survivors, you can build beds. You can stack these beds on top of each other to save more space. As you get more money, you can research new upgrades of the workbench. You can also buy weapons at the workbench. There's a big upgrade tree for all sorts of stuff like new soldiers and perks. After playing for a bit, I made it to day 3 where I found a shady trader. The trader offers you permanent upgrades and weapons for your suspicious skulls. Each night, the waves of zombies grow stronger and stronger. Realizing this, I decided to build a little wall out of wood and place down a shotgun soldier to defend the entrance. Wave 4 introduces armored zombies. These guys came in full military gear and were extremely tanky. My pistol did barely any damage to these guys. Wave 4 was no joke. Me and the shotgunner were fending for our lives and barely survived the onslaught. I mean, look at this. After that fiasco, I decided to mine the ramps that were leading up to my base to hopefully slow down the zombies. I also upgraded my pistol to an AK-47 to better deal with the armored guys. Night 5 came around, and is that a freaking catapult? Yeah, the zombies were pulling up with catapults. The catapults are super annoying because they launch zombies straight into your base. I kept playing and building up my base. Fast forwarding a bit, it's now night 8 and this game is just getting absolutely ridiculous. The zombies are now shooting back? Yeah, night 8 is really no joke. We got AK-47 zombies, bomb vest zombies, and there's these massive SWAT dudes that have absurd amounts of health. I somehow survived and worked on making a little farm area. Night 9 rolls around and I'm no longer messing around. I researched flamethrowers the day before, so I placed down 2 flame troopers to incinerate the zombies. what was that? I just got hit by a freaking boulder. I don't even know where that came from. After a long time of playing, I managed to get a decent army. I had 7 snipers, 3 flame troopers, a medic, and a whole grenadier division. With this army, I managed to survive wave 13. Once I made it to day 14, I decided to call it quits. Well, that's all for the gameplay. Now on to the best and worst parts about Colony Survival. Here's the best parts about Colony Survival. I really haven't seen any other Roblox game like this. There really isn't any other game that can substitute this one. It's completely unique and I respect it for doing something different on the Roblox platform. I think the research tree is pretty good. There's a decent amount of upgrades that you can get to unlock new soldier types or bonuses to you or the other NPCs. I kinda wish there were more upgrades to the player because you can't do much damage to the zombies in the later waves. I feel like weapon upgrades or some sort of speed boost upgrade could be a good addition. Something I forgot to mention is that each soldier can be upgraded as well. There's even branching paths for the recruit, shotgunner, and sniper. You can either get more damage or a faster fire rate. Since you can alter the environment using your pickaxe, you can potentially make it impossible for the zombies to reach you, or you could funnel all the zombies into one entrance and have a whole bunch of soldiers stationed there. There really are a whole bunch of different ways you can make a base. Well, that's it for the positive. Now on to the things I didn't enjoy. You know, for a colony survival game where most of the gameplay is based off the NPCs, their AI really isn't that good. I don't like how the soldiers just stand in one place and shoot the zombies. They feel more like turrets than people. Even when the zombies get close, they just stand there and get hit. Some suggestions I have to improve the AIs: add a way to make them patrol an area and also make them retreat when in danger. Trying to get more survivors takes too long and it's pretty tedious. It sucks when you're struggling with the zombie waves and you can't recruit any soldiers because you don't have enough people. All you can do is wait for more to show up or go find them in the wild. But for some reason in my playthrough there were barely any survivors scattered around the map. Maybe they could add like a radio so you could find or attract more survivors to your base. Do the blocks really have to be this small? It takes forever to build a decent wall with these tiny things. The blocks are bound to break, which requires you to replace them. Every time you place down a block, you lose money, so by the time you build a somewhat decent wall, you're down by $3,000. The last critique I have with Colony Survival is that the map is really boring. There's no special locations or buildings, it is completely barren. I guess you have the ability to build whatever you want, but there really isn't an incentive to explore. It would be cool if there were like some abandoned buildings where you could find a group of survivors. Colony Survival is definitely one of the strangest games I have played. It was also pretty difficult to review this game. Colony Survival feels a little too unpolished, but there isn't anything like it. It has a lot of pretty good ideas that feel like they just need to be expanded upon a little more. It definitely is a really fun game to play, and you can always play it with some friends too. I hope the issues get addressed, especially the game's AI. All in all, I give this game a final score of 7 out of 10.